Hi, my name is Tiffany Wright, and I'm here with Fight the New Drug to discuss an important issue we have going on in our nation today. Can you imagine a country in which you live in that generates more than $10 billion a year in pornography? Your first thought may be, so? Well, what if $3 billion of that is from child pornography alone? There are over 116,000 searches for child pornography every single day. A world where you can literally book and travel to a teen child sex motel at any time you want. What about a world with sex slavery on the rise? According to partnersinternational.org, experts estimate that at any given time, nearly 1.25 million people are forced into sex slavery each year, and half of that number is children. A world where more than $30 billion is generated each year from human trafficking. It's one of the most profitable criminal industries in the world today. A world where the demand is getting higher and higher by the day, and it's taking its toll on how men treat women, the breakdown of the family, teen pregnancies. Rape is at an all-time high in our nation, and with pornography so widely accepted, Fight the New Drug is here to spread a different message, and that's the truth. This organization is working hard to teach others about the harmful effects of this new addicting drug. I'm going to go over some of these things with you today, such as the cause, the problem, and most important, the solution. Okay, first the cause. Let's talk about what actually happens in the brain when you watch it. It releases dopamine in the brain, like drugs, and then they fire what are called neurons. And neurons that fire together, wire together. Just like other addictive substances, porn floods the brain with dopamine. And that rushes the brain of chemicals happening over and over again, and it actually rewires the brain's reward pathway, ultimately changing the make of the viewer's brain. This can result in an increased appetite for porn. You heard me right. Porn physically changes your brain. For more than 10 years, studies have shown that these addictions can cause the brain's frontal lobes to start shrinking. While frontal lobes sounds like a really technical term, it's not. Basically, it's the part of the brain that controls your logical problem solving and moral decision making skills. Obviously a problem. This is all according to fightthenewdrug.org. It's easy to see how most people and companies already know all of this. It probably comes as no surprise to anyone when I say sex sells. Just ask a company like Hardee's. How do you sell a burger? You put a woman in a bikini sitting on the top of a fancy car eating a burger. Nowadays, almost every movie, commercial, TV ad, TV show, and magazine use sex to sell their products. You can't even walk through a mall or drive through a town without seeing big poster boards and billboards plastered everywhere with sex sells. And that's just here in the United States. In places like Europe and other countries, pornography is on the local channels, it's part of commercials, and even in local coffee shops. As a society, we're being bombarded and exposed from such an early age that it's becoming something that's completely normal, when in reality, it's not. According to Pornhub.com, their goal is to get users exposed to porn by the age of 10. This is, of course, to ensure a lifelong customer. Even the pornography industry knows how addictive this stuff is. And they, of course, use that to their advantage. All right, now the problem. We're living in a sex-sick world, and it's affecting lots of different areas and aspects of our society. For example, according to Rain.com, every 109 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted, and every 8 minutes, that victim is a child. Meanwhile, only 6 out of every 1,000 perpetrators will ever be put up in prison for that. According to a study done at Harvard University 2 years ago, the consumption of pornography is directly linked to violence against women. In a study that was done in 2012, 200 prisoners who were serving for violent crimes such as rape and murder were all surveyed about their exposure to pornography. And out of those 200, more than half of those men admitted to watching pornography regularly or having an addiction to it. Another thing important to mention about porn here is that there are 2 different types of porn. You have soft porn and then there's hard porn. Soft is what you would call the usual guy and girl, nothing violent, just soft. I hate to use that word, but hard porn would be anything past that. Child porn, violent, angry, abusive, or anything else out there that falls under a more extreme porn. As we discussed earlier, most people start out watching soft porn, but then the brain stops producing that dopamine and they must either turn to other avenues to receive the same high. This, of course, is what's creating the demand for sex trafficking and child abuse. There's roughly 400,000 registered sex offenders in the US alone, and it's estimated that you could easily double that for people who have not been caught or been in trouble for it yet. And again, with 1.25 million children sold into sex slavery every year, it's clear to see that you or anyone else you know that watches pornography and thinks it's harmless, think again. All right, there's good news, the solution. You can be a huge part in the change. If you or someone you know watches pornography, stop. It's that simple. Stop watching it and creating the demand for it. Start talking about this to friends and family. Make this part of an everyday conversation so we can spread the word about how harmful of a drug pornography really is. Get involved. Join Fight the New Drug on Facebook. Share it on Instagram, Twitter, however you can. Help spread the word. Buy some of their gear like shirts, bracelets, bumper stickers, whatever you can, and show others that we're taking a stance and starting a conversation. Also, donate. Every dollar helps. When you donate to this organization, you're helping them to offer free sexual addiction recovery to those that have the addiction and also to children and family members that are affected by this as well. They also partner with human trafficking organizations that are out on the streets trying to fight against this. The numbers and statistics that I've shared with you today are growing each year by huge numbers. The increase we've seen in just the last 10 years is sickening. So be a part of the change and help create a better tomorrow for our children. And it starts with me and you. Thanks.